peeps? It's your girl Dash. Come back to Funeral Takes. Well, it's that time again, you guys. It's movie news time, and I got quite a bit of stuff I want to discuss. Not so much, but just enough. Some things I'm excited about, and then some things I'm going to kind of get into discussion about that seems to be getting a lot of coverage in regards to movies in general. It's going to be like a minor rant, but I'm going to say that at the end. So with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about all encompasses X-23. Now, if you recall, the movie Logan, directed by James Mangold. Let me just say how much I enjoyed that movie when it came out. I was excited about it, but then I was sad because I knew it was bringing the character Wolverine in some ways to a close, of course, starring Hugh Jackman. I love that movie so much. I went and saw that thing 4 times. That's just one of the best movies ever made. I just love that movie. Now, needless to say, since I'm bringing up X-23, the little whispers are coming out a little bit about possibly wanting to make a movie. And I know this was talked about a while back. I want to say when the movie first came out, because let's just say when I saw the trailer and I was introduced to X-23, the character played by Daphne King, she was phenomenal in this movie. Just overall body language, the facial expressions, of course, her action sequences were a part. Now, I know she does have a martial arts background, so that definitely added to it. And just seeing it from a standpoint of her, being a young kid who was basically a part of this, program they created where they were trying to make these mutants and using some of the DNA from Wolverine, which was to create this X-23, this is what we get. Now, granted, her and other young kids were, thrusted into the situation where they were, given these certain, powers, whatever, with what they were doing on when they were experimenting with them. And they don't want to go along with this. If you saw clearly within the movie, whichever, and of course, the character Logan, aka Wolverine, the professor, coming across, video they showed in the movie of showing them experimenting, making her definitely hitting his likeliness in regards, whichever, her thinking he's her dad, things like that, because just her having his DNA, but he's not really her father, but feeling like he was responsible for her, and all the things that culminated to the point where, of course, in the end, we lose him, and then her and the kids kind of go somewhere that's a safe place for them to have passage, so they can't be, found, caught, whichever. I'm hoping they'll consider doing X-23. Now, I know recently James Mangold was actually at a type of film festival, and he asking questions because he actually in the midst of promoting the movie, what is it, I want to say Ford versus Ferrari. They just kind of asked him straight out, and I'm going to just know what he said. They just asked him, a quick final question, if he's still interested in writing and directing X-23. And this was his response. He was like, do I have an interest? Yes. Will it happen, at least in the near future? I doubt it. Now, at least it's still kind of out there. That, I really, really, really hope they make that. And I really would love for Daphne King to play that. I think she'd be perfect. If they're going to wait a couple more years, I'm not sure how old she is now, but let's just say another 3 or 5 years from now, they decide to make it, they could. I think she's probably was in her late teen, 12, maybe 11, 12. And it's been a couple years since that was made. So she's probably 15, somewhere in that ballpark. If they want to wait till she's 20, 19, 20, it could be more believable if they consider doing one at the time has passed, how, what is happening with her, things of that nature, and then kind of progress the story from there. That would be nice. And there's potential for that to be possibly a sequel in that one, depending if she's, if they do it, she comes on board, she signs on to do multiple movies under that particular character. But the potential's there. I would like them to ask her how she feels too, because I think if Mangold decides that he would love to consider her, that would be awesome. Yeah, I really, really want that. When I saw her, honestly, in the movie and just watching it, and every time I kept watching it, I was literally in awe. Granted, I saw it the first 2 times, and the third time, the fourth time, it was like this, but I was just literally, just in a trance, just watching her particular scenes of the way she carried herself throughout that movie. So yes, I'm here for it. I hope it does happen. I'm going to keep my eyes out on this if this comes up again, since they did bring it up to him. It's been a couple of years since Logan came out, so let you know it's still fresh in people's minds. So it's fresh in mind. So I'm definitely here for it. So with that said, moving on. Now this one, I really haven't discussed it really a lot. I don't think I discussed it at all, honestly. This has to do with the Matrix 4 movie. I know they talked about this for the last, a couple weeks, a month or whatever and all that this is kind of coming back out. We have, Lana Wachowski, who's writing and directing, coming back, of course, at the helm with the 4th installment. I'm excited, hyped. Brings me back to seeing Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss. Of course, getting word that we have two other additional characters that have been added to the cast for sure. That is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and then also Neil Patrick Harris. Now, getting word that another person is being considered, and that is, excuse me, Jessica Henswick. Now, I remember her because she played the character Colleen on Iron Fist, and of course, you know, other parts of the Marvel shows like the Defenders and things of that nature. And I am completely down for that. I loved her character on Iron Fist. So to hear that she's being considered for the lead in this, kind of like a female Neo-like character is how they're phrasing it. Hey, it is what it is. They definitely liked her when she came in, I think, for the reading recently. So that does have me hyped. With that, she is being busy. I know she's also part of Godzilla, Godzilla versus King Kong. Definitely looking forward to that. And then I know she's actually in the new movie, and I saw her in the trailer, which was for the movie Underwater with Kristen Stewart. She's in that. It's coming out later this year. I want to say, I don't know if it's November, is it December? I could be getting this wrong. This might be early next year, but I know it's coming out shortly. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, how they're going to do the story overall, because honestly, not sure what's going to happen. Of course, the two main characters that we love, but Keanu and Carrie, you know, they die. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to write this particular storyline, you know, with the emphasis of them, of course, coming back, how that's going to be all done. But hopefully, if this is something they've been talking about and discussing for a couple of years, and now we're finally getting news that they're doing this, that means Lana has definitely put something together that'll probably blow our minds. Just like when the first one came out, literally, I remember it. That movie just, the first one for sure, literally had me like in straight awe, because it was nothing I'd never seen before, and it was just amazing. And with the way technology is now, whatever, it's almost like you have to keep constantly upping the ante. All these different type of movies that came out circa 10, 15, almost 20 years ago with the technology we had then, you know, it literally has gas. And as time goes on, it's almost like, you know, you're almost having to outdo yourself. And it is just to stay, you know, relevant with the certain ways they do stuff in regards to CGI and things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in regards to this particular movie. Now, also, rumors are spreading about the possibility that Jada Pinkett might be coming back as Naomi. I hope that is true. She is in talks, so I'm hoping, because she did survive. She survived the attacks from the Sentinels. Plus, she was able, you know, risked her life to save Neo. If you all remember, she was, what was it, the Matrix, you know, was it Reloaded and then the Matrix Revolutions. I'm trying to remember the titles. So yes, I'm here for it. You know, plus she was like the captain of the ships with Logo the second, and then she was kind of like a love interest to Morpheus. You know, played by Lawrence Fishburne. So I'm not sure about him as well, if he's going to be coming back. Don't hear anything about that just yet. That, you know, I'm curious to know who Yahya Abdul-Mateen's character is. I don't know if he could be related maybe to Morpheus. I'm curious about him. They just not giving us any information right now, so me just assuming stuff, you know, you can't help it, you know. But I tell you, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, he's a little busy boy too. He's got, you know, is in the new Candyman movie. You know, he was definitely in the most recent movie Us that I saw him in. Of course, he was in Aquaman. He's staying mad busy too. I'm here for. Plus, he's going to be in the new series on HBO Watchmen. I'm looking forward to that. So yes, I'm loving the overall casting coming together. I'm curious to know both their characters, him and Neil Patrick Harris, are unknown. Don't know anything about that. So as more information comes, as I always tell y'all, when I know more, you'll know more. So that's what I'm really looking forward to knowing. But fingers crossed that Jada Pinkett definitely is on board. That would be awesome. You know, so yes, I'm looking forward to that. Now, definitely don't know anything. I know they're supposed to start production earlier next year. They're claiming it's supposed to be some sort of 2022 release date, and let's hope it's not that far away, but it's a possibility. Hopefully it'll be somewhere earlier in the year. But knowing that a lot of the dates, honestly, for 2020 and 2021 are being already taken for like good summer blockbusters, time slots, whichever. I don't know if they'd rather just be safe and go with the whole new year, and that gives her time to make sure the movie is perfectly on point. Like I said, same thing when I talked about last week about Black Panther 2. It's going to be a couple of years. We have a good 2 years before that movie comes out. A lot of people are kind of fresh. Why? You have so many things to watch until that movie comes out. You will be fine. It is what it is, and that's fine. You want the best quality movie, and especially with them making Black Panther 2 sequel, and then with the Matrix 4, and it's been this many years, I would rather them take their time and make it right. So I'm not going to complain about that, but hopefully, like I said, we'll get more information about which character, you know, how is this character going to be utilized in the next installment. What's gonna be the understanding? I don't know if they're going to tell us anything about the Matrix part with Carrie and Keanu, but hopefully they'll give us a little something that would be nice. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. But needless to say, I will be keeping my eyes out on this one because now I'm really excited about the way this casting is coming together. So we're moving on from that. Now this one has to do, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, this has to do with the Craft reboot. We have a new person that's been added to the cast. I'm actually excited about this. It has me a little intrigued. I was kind of a little salty because I still love the original, but this has to do with David Duchovny coming on board in the cast. His character's details are completely under wraps, so let me just put that out there now. I was a little bummed because I thought we'd get a little bit of information about this, so I'm curious as to know what role he is actually playing. I am a fan of David Duchovny ever since, I mean, he's been around, I've been watching for damn near 30 years. That was, of course, due to X-Files. Love that show. One of my favorite shows of all time. Of course, he's been on other things, you know, definitely movies. I loved him on Californication. You know, and he's done other shows like, you know, directed episodes of Bones, things of that nature. But yes, he is truly a staple of certain things I've watched over the years. I just love him. So I really wish we knew more about what his character would be doing. As I said, hopefully we'll get a little bit more. Now, just to refresh your memory about the new cast for the girls, let me give you your names again. We have Kaylee Spaney. She was in the movie Bad Times at El Royale. Love that. We have Gideon Adlon, she was in The Society. Then we have Lovey Simone, who was actually a part of the show she's still on. It was called Greenleaf. And then we have Zoe Luna, who's on the show Pose. Now, we're getting two other characters. I'm going to add them up here as well. One of them is called Nicholas Galatzine. Excuse me if I'm saying it incorrectly. It was on the show Chambers. It's going to be added to that as well. Now, that, like I said, I still love the original. But I said, I'll give it a chance. I said, once I see the trailer so I can really see what it looks like, to really, you know, see how they're doing it. I want to see exactly how they're going to tell the story. If it's going to be in some way similar to the original, if they're going to tweak it just a little bit. Sometimes we'll do that. You know how that goes. So, but like I said, a lot of reboots. It's just every time you turn, it's a reboot. And it's just like, almost to the point like I give up, you know, it is what it is. So, but yes, needless to say, now we still don't have a date, and I really wish, they keep saying early 2020 for when they're going to be starting the production, Don't know when it's coming up. It's coming out later next year, or it's going to be coming out in 2021. Hopefully we'll be getting a date once they start production, have an idea. Yes, so I think they said either January or February we're going to probably start production. So hopefully we'll know a little bit more, and if anybody else is added to the cast, I'll just go ahead and note that as well. So like I state, when I know more, you all will know more. Now this has to do with the Batman. So let me just go ahead and get into this because this one's a tad little lengthy. Looks like Jonah Hill has stepped down for, you know, being consideration for the Penguin. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not surprised, and I really honestly am not worried about that. And let me tell you, because of the simple fact that he was being considered for that, and also possibly the Riddler. Now, to know that, you know, little words gotten out that supposedly certain things kind of broken down because they had to do with the money issue. I'm not surprised because I'd heard that he was wanting $10 million. Don't get me wrong. He definitely has his comedic streak, and he's done many stuff that's in regards to drama as well. So he's, you know, a guy of many talents. But being that this is the Batman movie, I didn't feel like in regards to that, you know, you're only bringing in regards to a character, a supporting character. You're not the main character. He's playing Penguin. So I really wish he just cut that in half and took it like that, and, you know, and moved on. Because I'm like this, if Robert Pattinson was getting any lesser than him and he's playing the lead character, that would have been really tacky. So I would be like, no. So hopefully Robert is being, you know, compensated being his character, because I feel like he's going to do more than one. So they're going to make sure that they're doing him right, which in it, because it is about the Batman. And I'm just like, whatever. I was like, you really, you know, was fighting for that money. Like, is all the other things that you've done that you make this good money, whatever, you couldn't just, you know, not make it about that. That's one of the reasons. And it could be other things, but I really feel like that money was the main reason he didn't do it. Whichever. This would have been something, would have been great for him to be attached to, but that's, you know, it is what it is. Now, I'll say who I think should get, and I've said it before, I think they need to really consider Josh Gad. He would be a perfect. Now, some people think he'll be more on the funny side. That's not fair to the actor. Actors might be known and well versed in certain genres because they're known for more roles, and that doesn't mean they can't step out of the box and do other things. I would feel like give him the benefit, let him do it. I think he's kind of vied a little bit for it. It's like, see him. I can see the potential. Same thing. Use Batman Forever with Danny DeVito. He's known for doing a lot of stuff that's comedy, like whatever. Not always a lot of drama at the time, and he came in there and he just, you know, nailed that baby out the park. So that's not a good, you know, reason as to not consider him, to at least read for it to see if the potential is there. So my fingers are crossed for Josh Gad, but if they find somebody else, it's a possibility, then that's fine. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, in regards to the Riddler, Now that we know that that character has been snatched up, and that's by Paul Dano. And I'm actually excited about this one. He looks like he's going to be a good character for the Riddler. I'm looking forward to him making it his own, honestly. He's done There Will Be Blood. I liked him in the movie Looper. He was in a movie I love called The Prisoners, and then also in 12 Years a Slave. So he's done quite a few movies that I actually enjoyed him. So when I heard that he was doing it, I was sold on that. So I'm excited. This cast is starting to come together. I'm feeling it. We got Commissioner Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright. We have Catwoman being played by Zoe Kravitz, and now we have Paul Dano playing the Riddler. So now we just got to figure out who's going to be Penguin. I don't know if he's going to be coming up with anybody else who's going to be added to the actual cast. This might be the main core ones, and I like that he has at least two definitely considered antagonist villains of sorts, if you want to call it that. I'm excited. I'm getting actually excited a little bit more and more as things move along, because I'm going to tell you like this, early in the year, not knowing what was going on and working on a script, it was so much of knowing nothing, excuse me. So knowing now that we're moving on progressively and he's really getting on board with this casting, I'm really looking forward to this. Now I'm just, like I said, I just want to see some photos from the set. I want some stuff to leak once they start doing actual, production, whichever, which is supposed, like I said, supposed to start early next year. So we have a ways away. Again, the date is June 25th, 2021. So we have a long ways to go, well over a year and a half to go. So yes, it's going to be really interesting when this comes out. I really look forward to seeing that teaser, and I look forward to seeing that official trailer. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to keep my tabs if anybody else is being added once we get the Penguin, and then from there, because I did hear little whispers, like I said the last time, about supposedly maybe a Two-Face, but I'm hoping that's not the case, because I said quality over quantity. Please don't add so many people, because then it's like they all get lost in the shuffle, and it's just too much, you getting introduced with the characters and not getting a little bit of their own time to shine, whatever. I want to focus more on the Batman, and of course a little bit of Catwoman in the mix, whatever. And then the other ones, yes, nothing wrong with that, but those are two I'm really looking forward to watching, truthfully. I'm not even gonna lie. So, but yes, guys, I'm really looking forward to the movie now. I'm liking what Matt Reeves is definitely putting together. So, but with that said, moving from that, this one I'm looking forward to as well. This has to do with Venom 2. It looks like, besides of course Tom Brady coming back, Michelle Williams, and of course I already know Woody Harrelson's going to be playing Carnage, aka Cletus Cassidy. Let me get the wording right. My apologies. We're going to look at possibly a love interest for his character, and it's supposed to be the name Shriek, and this is a character I'm not familiar with, so of course I got to hone my skills with doing my research on that one. But needless to say, it's definitely considered the love interest. Now they're looking at possibly bringing on, or she's in talks, Naomi Harris. Now I'm excited at the fact that she's being considered. Now from what I'd heard, they stated that they were looking at supposedly unknowns, but it looks like it was something about her that they're, she's been brought in, and right now, like I said, they're in talks. But I'm definitely excited and hyped at her being attached to this. Yeah, I'm already hyped because the director is Andy Serkis, but knowing that this cast is kind of slowly coming along, we're getting some more added people to this. I didn't think we were going to get a love interest for Carnage, aka Cletus, so I'm really surprised by that. But that makes me even more excited about everything else they're going to possibly be adding to the movie, So I'm excited. Now for Naomi Harris, I'm familiar with her, of course, in a couple of movies. She, of course, being nominated for supporting role of the movie Moonlight. She was also in Skyfall. She was also in Spectra. She's going to be in a new movie coming out next Friday called Black and Blue. Looking forward to seeing that. Bought those tickets. Definitely looking forward to that one. So yes, I'm excited for her, and she looks like she's getting busy. She's picking up quite a different couple of things. She's going to be definitely in the new James Bond film as well. So I'm excited for her for that one as well. So yes, this is looking to shape up to look really, really good. I think again with them, production will be starting very soon as well. A lot going on for these movies. We still don't have an actual date for Venom 2. So I'm thinking if not next year, maybe the following year, and that's fine. Again, with this one, the first one was good. Again, we need the second one to do very well. CGI needs to be on point. Definitely with how Venom looked in the first one was awesome. Please let him look just as good in this one as well as Carnage. So yes, I'm here for it. Let's make it happen. So that's really all I have to say about this. So like I stated, more little information comes out. We'll see. I know some individual, I was talking to a friend at work about this real quick. and I was saying how people, well, not people, me and some other individuals would really like to see the possibility of a Spider-Man or even Peter Parker making an appearance. I wouldn't even mind Peter Parker's character making an appearance, and then if all goes well with the second installment doing very well at the box office, the third one would be nice for him to be really introduced where you can see some stuff really go down. So, you know, the potential's there with everything that happened between Sony and Marvel. We'll have to see if that actually ends up happening, because I keep hearing that that is in the cards. It's just a matter of how they're going to tie it in. Of course, it really does happen because he was never mentioned in the original one, so we have to see, and I'm curious to see how they're going to write that anyway. So, plus my friend, he was rolling his eyes at me because, you know, he reads the comments, he's just like, he didn't know what to think. But it was just funny that we were having a discussion about this when I was reading some article about it a couple weeks ago. So, but I just wanted to throw that in there. But I hope they do make that happen. That would be really, really cool. So, but with that said, moving on. Now, this one I'm excited about because now filming has wrapped, and this has to do with Ghostbusters III. I'm excited. It's ever since the first one came out, 1984, and then 5 years later, Ghostbusters 2. We've always, I feel like, wanted that, you know, 1, 2, and 3 back to back, so we can have. I want my box set. So to know that Jason Reitman is finally done, you know, his father Ivan Reitman was the one who did the first two, so I'm excited that. Everything. So we're just looking forward to this coming out next July. Now, they did post a picture of them, you know, showing the filming and wrapped. I'm going to post a picture up somewhere up in here. And just look at, they're all happy. You see the cast. And we go through the names again. Finn Wolfhard is in it. Carrie Coon's in it. And, of course, McKenna Grace is in it. Those are the key characters in it. That's the family, of course, is, you know, in town, whichever. You know, certain things start to happen, whichever. We're going to have some, you know, oldies but goodies return from the original. I'm excited about that. Of course, like I said, you know, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver. Who is else? God, I feel like I'm missing a name. Dan Aykroyd, excuse me. I'm just excited that a lot of the original cast is going to be in this movie. I don't know in what capacity and how much of the movie they'll be in, but that is fine. I'm just here to see them, you know, for the nostalgic purposes as well. Of course, they're writing, you know, new people into it or whatever, because years have passed, so we want that. And being that the last one came out in 1989, it's been over 20 years, it looks more believable to see if these people are actually related to one of the people from the show. That would be interesting. So yes, I'm looking forward to this. This comes out July the 10th, 2020. Before you know it, 2020 will be here. It's a lot coming out next summer. It's going to be ridiculous, and this will definitely be one of them on my list. I'll most definitely be there first day out. Once those tickets go on sale, I am there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I will say that he noted on his Instagram, talking about Jason Reitman, just in regards to, you know, the picture. It says on there with, you know, writing 68 days and still smiling, meaning that's probably how long it did for the full shoot of the movie. Well, I always wanted to know how long some movies can last when they're making them, doing a production, whichever. So some of them can go, they always say like about 3 months. They always give a ballpark when people are on set for a particular movie. You know, that's why some people who do like, TV shows, they'll be on hiatus from the TV show doing a movie during the whole entire summer break up from their TV show, and it'd be like a 3 month, you know, 2 to 3 month type of shoot. So this kind of gives me a ballpark of how some of them will, you know, do an actual movie, because that was mostly the entire, of course, summer. So yes, I'm excited, you guys. I'm looking forward to this. I'm just and before I go see that third installment, I'll probably watch the first 2 that week, so I can just kind of remember everything. It's all fresh in the head. So, but yes, moving on from that. Now, this one came out earlier in the year, and I enjoyed this. This has to do with the movie Escape Room. Now, that one was a really good movie. I know they have these little things which you go around, because I was talking to a friend at work, another friend, and she's been to things like this called the Escape Room, whichever, and all. She found it very fun. So when the movie came out, you know, I said, I'm going to see a movie that's actually, you know, called that. And I was like, okay. So when I went and saw it, I really enjoyed it. This, of course, it starred it was Taylor Russell, Logan Miller. We had Tyler Labine, Deborah Ann Wall, and Jay Ellis. They were the main characters, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, of course, a room where they come to some big building where they're trying to, you know, win this $10,000, whichever, and they have to go through certain rooms with these clues to get through whatever to the next, you know, room, whichever. Unbeknownst to them, certain rooms had certain clues or certain events that were traumatic events that happened in their lives that are part of these clues. Very interesting and done very, very well. I was really on the edge of my seat. It was a really good movie. I'm looking forward to it because now, of course, they're doing a second installment. And this one I'm excited because we have, of course, returning cast members, Taylor Russell and Logan Miller. Of course, if you have not seen the movie, I'm sorry, spoiler. They were the 2 remaining at the end. And, you know, from that, we know they're going to be in the next installment, and the new characters are coming on. Let me go ahead and note their names. Teen Wolf's Holland Roden. I'm excited for her. Used to watch Teen Wolf. And then the girl, India Moore, who was in the show Pose. And then it looks like we have 2 more individuals who've been added as well. I'm going to note them as well. Thomas Cockerell, he was from the show The 100. And then Carlito Olivero, he's on Step It Up White High Water, excuse me. So yes, those are the new cast members who are in this. And of course, Adam Robitel is going to be coming back as a director. So I'm excited about that. So since he was the one that did the first one, I really enjoyed it. He already has an understanding of how he's going to be doing it. That makes it even better than some new director. Thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to this one because with that last one, when they got out, they got to see who was the game master. And of course, the way it was set up, whatever, cops, of course, showed up, whatever. When they went back in the room, of course, everything was cleaned out, whatever. Then, of course, towards the last part of the ending of it, it showed like months had passed. And, you know, of course, Taylor and Logan meet up, whatever. And she's showing him the clues. Because out of all of them, she had a lot going on with her smartness and certain things she was able to pick up, whichever. I really thought in the end she was going to be the only one standing. But I was glad that it wasn't just one person. It was actually 2 people. So it'll make it more interesting when they go into the sequel for the movie. And just pray that one of the 2 or both of them still live, whichever. Something makes me think Taylor might live. This is my prediction. Logan might not, but Taylor might. We'll have to see. But I'm excited because now it looks like the person who's the game master for that, now he's kind of made it where he knows that the 2 have survived and they were on their way to get on a flight, whatever, and all that. We'll see. And it showed him doing some sort of flight testing out of what can happen on an airplane. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. Now, the date for this they have set is August 14th, 2020. So that means they must have already started production possibly on it already, or have already are getting ready to. I want to think they're started on it already because if this is August 2020 is right around the corner, and I'm assuming editing, whatever, and all that, you know, post-production, whatever. I don't know how much longer they're going to need, but I'm definitely going to go see the second installment. I did do a review on the first one, so yes, this looks really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing my girl from Teen Wolf, to see what she's going to bring to the table in this one. I haven't seen her anything, honestly, since Teen Wolf. I don't follow her enough to know what she's worked on, but I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to add to this one in particular. You know, she's going to, of course, be one of the ones, you know, doing another escape room, whichever. So, but yes, with that said, again, when I know if anybody else is added, I will note that as well. Now, this one, I am beyond hyped at the possibility this has to do with Evil Dead. Now, word is that Sam Raimi has picked a person to actually do the next Evil Dead movie. I was really interested about that because of the simple fact that we all remember the last one that came out, which was in 2013. Fede Alvarez had did it, and a lot of us weren't sure how to feel it. When I saw the trailer, it got me. I was like, okay, this looks really interesting. I went to the movies, loved it, done very well. So of course a lot of people were like, is he going to do a second one? Then he came out with Don't Breathe, and then a lot of people were like, you know, wow, that was a good movie. And he put out like a poll saying, you know, what would y'all want to see next, you know, Evil Dead 2 or Don't Breathe 2, whatever. And some people were like, you know, a couple people Don't Breathe, but a lot of people like Evil Dead 2. Let's just be real, between the 2, which one am I going to really pick? Of course it's going to be Evil Dead. So for a while we hadn't heard anything. You see what year we're in. We're in 2019, nothing. So to hear about this, it's really interesting to me. Now, I know Bruce Campbell's been doing a lot of different horror cons. Of course, I went to one recently. I'm going to show my picture again. I have a ball recently, a couple weeks ago, when I saw him at Monster Mania. It was awesome. He was at a recent one, and I wanted to note the one it was at. He was at one called Rock and Shock, some type of Rock and Shock festival. And I think it came up where he kind of discussed it. Let me read what he said in regards to it. He did a full quote where he discussed it. He says, "It's okay to pass it along to another idiot to try and stop evil from destroying the world. One idiot tried. He did pretty good. It's time to let other innocent people with no skills to save the world. And there's more stories to tell. So we think we have a cool premise. We have a new filmmaker that Sam Raimi has had hand chosen, So he's very involved in it. We'll be involved in the story, and we'll try and make sure the actors don't completely suck. And then we're going to make another one. Yeah. There's lots of stories, creepy books, and lots of people to torment." Now, he'll be a part of it in regards to, I think, in some ways, what Sam Raimi will be making sure they have definitely a new director. Don't know who the director's name is, so I'm very curious to know who this person is. I don't know what, we don't have a name yet. Hopefully they'll come out. Don't know when they're going to start this particular movie. Might be sometime next year to come out, maybe in 2021. That will be interesting. I definitely want to know who's directing this. I'm surprised that it's not Fede Alvarez, you know, knowing that it did very well. And of course with, you know, Bruce Campbell and Sam's, you know, blessing, whichever, and they liked the one he did. So also I want to know how they're going to do this particular one in regards to this. I know one thing, don't make a new Ash. Not here for it. Just make new characters. You could be other books out there. That's fine, but please don't, because a lot of us would not bode well with that. I'm not even here for that. I'm all for a new Evil Dead, but I don't want to hear another new Ash, because it just please. Being that we watched all those different movies going back, from 81, 87, 90, was it 92, 93, and then the one from 2013. And we get a new one. Then we had the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series, which I'm still bummed after the 3 seasons. I wish they did at least 4 or 5, but either way, just the fact that he did it before he decided to go ahead and, put up his chainsaw for good. So, we have all that work. So it's not like we have nothing that we can't enjoy, circa, Ash, aka Bruce Campbell. I'm going to keep definitely my tabs on once I know who it is, because I really want to see who this person is. Is it somebody who's done a couple other works? Is it somebody new? Who's dabbling, who's might have worked with Sam Raimi in previous films with him, who he feels like is ready to hone his skills and can do this, and he feels confident, then that would be interesting. I wonder, it could be any way to see this. So I'm just staying positive. Sam Raimi definitely feels confident, so I can go along with that, whichever. But a lot of us are going to be looking, with a little side eye, like, okay, who, so. But yes, I just wanted to kind of note that for right now. And speaking of Sam Raimi, the other thing he's discussing recently is that he's going to be directing a new horror film. Now, I don't know anything about exactly what he's going to be directing. They haven't gotten that far, but it's definitely in the works. I am on board to see what he's going to be. When you think about him giving us Evil Dead, I can't be none too excited about the fact of what could it possibly be. Also, who will be in it? What will it be about? So as the more of the information comes up, you already know, I'm going to let you all know. When I know more, truly you all will know more. I'm excited at the potential of what he's going to put out and when. So since it's just literally considered off the presses, don't have anything with that. But I just want to note that since I was already talking about Evil Dead, since he was the one that brought us the epicness, what he's going to have in store for us very soon. And I'm kind of glad because, he is all encompassing of horror. Yes, he's done Spider-Man. The Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire and all, and I still love those as well. But I know him from horror, and I'm looking forward to him doing something horror again. So that makes me very, very happy. So, but with that said, that's the end of that. But I wanted to get into something really quickly in regards to this situation that's come up in the last, week or 2 weeks, whatever, in regards to a couple of individuals, some mostly considered directors, making their comments about how they feel about the Marvel movies. At first I wasn't going to discuss this, but mine is not going to be a full rant against either Marvel or the directors. I'm just going to note, because of course one of them being Martin Scorsese, feeling how he feels this is not really good, probably good movies or whatever, movie making in regards to the body of work I can say he's put out. And I will say this, he has a nice plethora of body of work of movies I have that I love. One of my favorite movies by him is Goodfellas. I cannot say it enough. Love that movie. That thing I never get tired of. Gangs of New York. There's so many different ones. I know he has that movie, The Irishman, coming out. I want to say it's the next month, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's November. And I think the thing's about 3 hours. Now, granted, I don't know if the budget was really tight that he couldn't, it's in selected theaters, but it's going to be on Netflix, whichever. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, the budget might have been too much, whatever, and all that. It's always surprising to me. They always say it's a bigger budget when these movie companies have all this money. But okay, I'll go along with that. Fine. But it is what it is. We get to watch it at home. That's just, sometimes I don't mind that. I'm a movie goer. I don't mind seeing the movies, but I like the option sometimes as well. If the time is a constraint, fine. Now, he said his comments, and of course, a couple of, directors, on the opposite end came out. Samuel L. Jackson said how he feels, whatever, and all that, whatever. He's saying stuff about him, whatever, because once you take a jab at a movie and all, somebody insults you directly, whatever, and all that, as if it adds anything to, anything, and this coming from adults. Then you have, of course, other directors saying something. One in particular, I won't even say, because when he said something, I said, you were, not even in the loop for a minute until he came on board to start making movies again. I won't even say who I'm discussing. You can figure it out if you have an idea. Then you have other ones, who made their little comments, always like the thinly veiled shots, but then it's like, who's the one that shot first? And this is what you get. Now we have another one who just made his comments known, and I wasn't expecting it. It came out the gate, and that was Francis Ford Coppola. And I'm going to read what he said because I was really blown by it, but I'm like, okay. He says when Martin Scorsese says that the Marvel pictures are not cinema, he's right, because we expected to learn something from cinema. We expect to gain something enlightenment, some knowledge, some inspiration. I don't know that anyone gets anything out of seeing the same movie over and over again. Martin was kind when he said it's not cinema. He didn't say it's despicable, which is what I just said. And I was like, wow, hey, like I literally was damn near stomped. Okay, same thing with him. Body of work. Love his movies. There's quite a few movies I love from him. Don't get me started with The Godfather. I just can't say enough about him. Just, I love a lot of his movies as well. This is how I'm going to say it like this. First and foremost, and I say this when I'm talking to gym with friends, whatever and all that, this is the person's opinion. That's their opinion. And when I say that, and this is how I phrase it to my friends, I say, if somebody has an opinion about something about me, whatever and all that, that's their right to have that opinion. I can choose to entertain it or not. A lot of people out here want to choose to entertain anything that they said, whatever, because they're hurt. And in some ways, I'm like, why are you hurt? Don't be hurt. You like Marvel movies. That's you. You're going to like those movies regardless of what they think anyway. The cheap shots about his age or whatever, who cares? It's like, give me a break. This, I don't feel like should even be news, honestly. I wouldn't care. But since they put it out there, it's like people like feel like they dagger them some way, like they hurt them to their core. I'm like, they didn't hurt you. Let me tell you like this. Marvel/Disney could care less. They are making bank. And they're going to continue making bank. Look at what they have rated for Disney Plus. I mean, they have stuff coming out later this year, going into next year, going to the year after that. They have the next phase of Marvel coming out. Do you really think they really care what these directors think? They're going to keep making that money in whichever. And that's the whole point of it. Marvel's doing well. The fans love it. The comic lovers, whatever and all that. And a lot of people enjoy it. I enjoy their movies. It is what it is. Same thing I will say in regards to these directors. They have work and all that. And I'm going to love their work and all that. I'm not offended by that. That does not offend me, whatever, because like I said, it's just their opinion. I can choose to entertain it. I just don't care. So, and it's not going to make me stop. Oh my God, Scorsese and Francis doesn't like this movie. I need to stop watching it. I'm like, who cares? Don't worry about what they think, whichever, and the cheap shots at them, whatever, at what expense? Does it make you feel better? Because it's not like these two gentlemen really would care what any of us think anyway. They're saying their truth and they're going to go about their business. And granted that Martin's trying to shoot his thing down after the fact with the backlash, but it's like, what's the point? It's the damage is done. That's why I always say this, whatever, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And trust me, there have been so many times I could have said something, out of my left field. Let me use an example. Certain things I get sometimes in my comment section from old previous trailers I've done or TV shows I've done, whatever. I've had such the amount of ignorance. I'm not gonna waste my time with that. I'm not gonna let you get in my head space and mess with my head all day long because I let whatever you said in some 1 or 2 sentences ruin my disposition about anything. I'm like, whatever. I'm not, and I just choose to ignore whichever and all that. And it's like some of them want to arise out of you. Please, I'm not gonna give you that. You don't deserve that. I don't know who you are. You are no one to me. So whatever. But needless to say, with this, I'm not entertaining that. I'm not going to worry about that. And I think overall people need to just do just that. Stop entertaining stuff, whatever and all that. Let them say what they want. They're going to think whatever they want. You can just move on from that. Like, okay, be like, and. You be like, next. And just go about your business and pull out your, Civil War. Pull out your end game and get to watching and move on. I wouldn't worry about that. But I will say this. These are movies. Yes, it might be comic based the way it is, the way they're being done based off comic books, whatever. But the quality's done. I can't give enough kudos to Kevin Feige for the simple fact that I just like to figure out how did they go about doing this when he sat down and devised some sort of business model for how they want to do Marvel to make it to what it is now, which is very impressively, epically done. To know that they sat down, set all this stuff in motion the way they're doing it. And granted, he just got a damn near promotion, and I'm just like floored, and kudos to him being at the helm of this, getting all this and how they've been able to do this for the course of 10 years and going to continue doing such to the point where they've had a merger, with Disney. They're doing all these things together and they're making quality things. A lot of people can watch, adults and kids, parents and kids together. It's just like, it's a win-win. Hey, and granted, a lot of people enjoying them, the actors playing them, enjoying them, it's money to be made, whatever, everybody's happy. So it's just like, it is what it is. Secondly, with movies like that Francis and Martin make, whatever, I love this stuff. I love everything. That's why I've told you all many a times, I love all types of movies, like all types of genres. It does not matter to me. Now, if it's certain things from Marvel I might not like, there might be certain movies that come out I don't like, whatever and all that. That's the whole point, whatever. Everybody has their own taste, whichever. I just really wished the choice, the framing of the wording is kind of harsh, whichever and all. But like I said, that's his opinion. You can choose to entertain it. Me, I don't. And this will be the only time I'm going to talk about this. So I left the rant at the end. You all can choose to watch this part, or you already probably clicked off, or you can give me your 2 cents of how you feel in the comment section, whatever. I'll get it off your chest. And then after this weekend, you will not hear me discuss this anymore. And if more and more people come out saying some comments, I'm not going to care anymore. This is my part of caring and now it's been concluded. So with that said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my movie news. Comment on anything I discussed. I would love to know what you all think. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next movie news. You guys take care.